Alright, ladies and gentlemen, giving an update on my chicken coop, house, pen, whatever the hell you want to call it. Sorry it's been a little late. I've been working a lot of overtime here recently, and I have Memorial Day weekend off, 4-day weekend. I figured I'd get some shit done around here. I got all my lap siding put up, as you can see, and got my roof on it with my green. It's evergreen tin on it. And I think it'll do pretty good. Had a little left over, but you know, that's how it goes. Sometimes I got a little shelter under it. That way if it's pouring down rain or it's too hot on the chickens, they want to get in some shade but not in the coop, they'll have this to get up under there. Got my 4x4 post to support it. Put my trim work up. Got some light coat of black paint on it. Kind of give it that old antique look. I don't know how well y'all like it. Hope the chickens like it, you know. Put my window in up there. The window is on hinges, and sorry about the highway noise. I live next to the highway, so just bear with me a little bit. But I got, you know, hinges right there, and I still gotta paint this. I just, you know, I hadn't done it. I hung this up after we was painting, and I still got to paint my trim for it. But I got the glass in here. It's on hinges. It opens that way, and I'm gonna put a stop right up there where I cut the rafter, so that way the wind won't snap it shut. And I got to get a latch for it. Right now all I got's a nail for it. I forgot to get a damn latch, and I think she looks fairly good. You know, I tried to make it like a rustic look and get the boards with the most knots in them, you know, to give it that old rustic look, you know, because that's what I like. I mean, you know, chickens probably don't give a shit, but that's just me. And it's quite a tall building because I'm quite a tall fella. Let me duck under my scaffolding real quick. The door to this thing is 76 inches. And if I stand in the doorway, my head touches the top of the door. It's 8 foot to the top plate right there, and then I think another foot up. Built everything. Me and my dad built everything. The rafters, put scab plates on them, nailed them together. We put a removable roof on it. That way, if I have to move, because I rent the property I'm at now, so if I have to move it, all I gotta do is take these banding iron straps down on that side, that side, that side, and that side. Hit the rafters, the bottom of the rafters up with a hammer, knock those end pieces off. Along with those end pieces off, roof comes off. I can lay this over, lay the whole building over. It's light enough to where I can lay it over. A couple of guys pick it up, put it on a trailer, put the roof on the trailer, dig up the post, and go on. That's the window. I hope it's enough light. Don't really know for sure quite yet. If it isn't, I'll probably build another door, another window on the south side of it. This is my door that we made. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a 1/8 of an inch sheet of plywood, 2x4 framed out, just basically a rectangle frame with a brace in the center. Then I braced it here and here, here and here, same way with the bottom. Try to give it a decorative look, you know, try to make it a little decorative, kind of rustic looking. I couldn't figure out exactly how to make it, but how to do it. It's a pretty solid door. It's pretty sturdy. I put it on the corner down there, and then pulled down on the corner down there. I weighed 200 plus, and I kind of bounced on it. It didn't even rack the frame, so it still stayed pretty true. So chicken house might blow down, but the door still be standing up. And I haven't put the roost in here yet. I'm not quite done with it. Still got a lot of work to do to it. I figured I'd put my roost over here. I'm thinking, I'm not sure though. I hadn't figured it out yet. And I'm gonna put a bin over there, like a chest tight bin all the way across up under the roost with a hinge top. That way I can open it up, store my feed and my, you know, supplies, whatever I need, you know. in the bin and lock it shut. That way, when I go to feed the chickens, it's already out here. I ain't gotta put it in no house. I ain't gotta put it outside. None of that crap. I am, because if you see, I didn't put a floor in there, and I got a gap under the bottom plate. You see, that one's pretty low to the ground, but once you get on this end, it's pretty high. I'm going to take a hardware cloth and go all the way around. I'm going to dig a trench all the way around the sides of it and drop it down and nail it to there, and then put it back in there. I'll probably drop it down about a foot and a half. That way, you know, armadillos and raccoons, dogs, and whatever the hell else decides to try to dig up under it, they'll hit that and then won't get my chickens. Oh, look at that. Yeah, if you stay in here, you're gonna be lunch for one chicken. Big old cricket. I'm gonna do the same with the top. Put hardware cloth around there. That way, in case a snake drops down from the shade of the tree, or raccoon jumps on there, he can't, you know, crawl through the soffit and get in here and terrorize my chickens. And either my nesting boxes is going to be over here or over here. I figured the light being over here, it'd probably be better to set them over on this side, but not quite sure. I hadn't quite figured it out yet, and I've never raised chickens before, so I'm kind of doing this to see how it does, I guess. You know, my family's raised chickens, but I hadn't done it. Kind of wanted some better eggs and better chicken meat. I got to come back, and I went down that all the way with the screws. It started raining on me, so I had to get down real quick. I just didn't want it to fly up. You know, we're supposed to get a couple of storms lately here soon, so that's why that one's up like that. And if you notice, I put them on the ridge instead of in the valley. I know a lot of people put them in the valley, but think about this: more rain comes down that valley than it does on top of that ridge. So you have less likely chance of a leak. I know they got lead washers supposed to seal them off, but you know, a lot of times people say crap that don't work. So we'll go with that. I got my post tamped in the ground. It's pretty sturdy. I mean, I can't move it. And I did, like I said, I was trying to go for the rustic look, so I picked out, I mean, it's straight 4x4s, but you know, it's kind that you wouldn't want to build a deck to your house or something, unless you was building a rustic house. Then you'd use this. I mean, I still got bark on it, and you know, nice grainy wood that gives it a real nice character, you know. But the reason why the rustic look looks the way it does is because that's all they had. But it's rough wood. I couldn't find trim work that was rough cut, that was long enough to do my trim, my boxing on the trim. So I went with smooth, unfortunately, and I don't know, I guess it'll work. I mean, damn, it's a chicken house, you know. And probably right behind that chair where we've been working so hard at this weekend. Put the door so the chickens can get out. That way when I wake up in the morning, I can let them out and they can come into a run, and probably fence it from about right here over to this post and come all the way up almost to the tree and shoot back that way, and then probably come all the way out here to right here. That way they can get some sun in the wintertime and kind of heat up, and probably come all the way down to the corner right here. So that'll give them a pretty big area to roam around in, and kind of free range when I'm at work all day. And then when I get off work, I'll let them out. And so I got plenty of freaking yard they can free range in. So, you know, a lot of nice bugs and critters and shit. Now I got my garden there. I just have to keep them out of that. And those of you who watch my garden video, hell, since I'm out here, I guess I'll do a little quick update for that. My corn done shot up pretty good. Some of it, you know, ain't too big, but got a big stalk there. My okra's starting to pick up now. Yeah, you see I got a patch of weeds right there I hadn't got out. My okra's starting to pick up pretty good. Hadn't bloomed yet. Of course, it ain't big enough, but it's coming along. It's getting hot enough now. My cucumbers have just absolutely covered up my poor marigold that I planted right there. Got small cucumbers on them. Some are really small. Some are all right size. They coming along. I mean, you can see they got loaded down with blooms already. I thought about putting up a small run for them on this end so they could just grow up. I said, to hell with it. It's kind of late, and I've got so many damn projects going on that this is the least of my worries on my cucumbers. My tomatoes. This is an interesting tomato plant right here. I love this plant. I got this plant, as you can see, there's more weeds out here. I hadn't weeded this, you know, the tomatoes as much because hell, I can't hardly get in there to them. I mean, look, it's like a jungle. But this guy right here, I planted him. When I bought him, he was broke at the pot. I said, well, I'll plant him anyways. Maybe he'll live. And I covered him up with dirt. Well, he died. And I said, well, you know, shit happens. Well, I noticed a couple of weeks later there was leaves growing out, and from the time I did my last video till now, he's already done got this big and got some blooms on him. They got some buds. They ain't bloomed yet, but he's doing. I got some good sized tomatoes in there. Oh, look at them tomatoes. Oh, they look so good. Love tomatoes. And had a couple of them die. I had to pull up. That's why you see gaps in here somewhere. And there's some more tomatoes. And I planted some butter beans a little too close to my tomatoes. And as you see, the tomatoes have done just damn covered them up. But I mean, look at just clusters of tomatoes everywhere. I'll be working my ass off to put all these up. And it's still bearing even more tomatoes. Look at it. I mean, look at the stalk on that thing. And you know, you see my hand, you see how big my hand is. Look at that leaf on a tomato plant. It's just unreal. But these, the reason why they're so big, they're early Goliath, so you know, don't get too excited. I don't have really too much secrets. And there's my green beans. As you can see, some of them didn't come up. Then you'll have a cluster of them. Then nothing but one. And then another cluster of them. So they're kind of sporadic. I got a few that they're loaded down for the most part with little butter beans, about like that. But I got a few in here that's about ready for picking, like this big bad boy right there. I mean, look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Tasty. Love it. Got some peas right there. My peas, you know, as you can see, they kind of sparse right there and then they get bigger. Those peas. I have more. And there's one of my butter beans that actually survived. I put down the pine straw, but I kind of run out, and you see where we was putting it down thick. There's not really a lot of grass. I have not weeded this. And you can see there's not really that much grass. I got, you know, a little sprig of grass right here, a couple of sprigs of grass. But, I mean, nothing like that little bit of grass right there. And there's some more tomatoes. Yeah. This poor little guy right here, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna make it. I've watered him, I put fertilizer around him. He's dying off. Don't know. My squash, been battling with them forever. As you can see, that squash plant looks pretty healthy. This little guy, he looks healthy finally. You know, they're doing alright. Got baby squash on them. Look at that. Oh, look at that big boy right there. But then you come down here and this little guy hadn't hardly did nothing. I did the same, man. And you see that one right there, he's about dead. So I don't know, it's weird. That guy looks like he's dying. They'll look like they're dying, and then 2 days later they look like that. Then they'll go back to looking like that. Then they'll go back to looking like that. I don't know. Maybe somebody out there watching this will know. Got some serranos. Yeah, boy, look at that. Nice little serrano peppers. That guy broke, but he's starting to grow back up, so I ain't gonna mess with him. Got some more serranos. They're doing pretty good. And I guess this guy just, I think the wind broke him because he was up today. But I'm gonna leave him be. I've seen them break like that before and keep on growing, so we'll see. I got some, there's some more serranos there, some more right there, some more tomatoes. And I don't know, every time I plant tomatoes down here, for some reason, I get freaking watermelons growing up. I mean, this ain't even a garden. This is my yard. And then here's the edge of the garden, and I got a freaking watermelon coming up. And there's another one. And yet another one. And I hadn't even planted watermelon seeds. I don't even like watermelon. Probably one of the only few southern people you'll meet that don't even like watermelon. But, I mean, I'll eat it every once in a while. And then got my thyme here. You know, it looks a lot greener than what it used to. And my rosemary, but it sure does smell good. It doesn't produce that much, and probably if I got little sprigs of grass out of there, it would do it. But you know, like I said, I've been working on my chicken coop over there, so you know, when you got so many projects going on, you kind of have to neglect one for a little bit and then come back to it. But I mean, look at those peas. I mean, come on now. Them jokers are thick. They hadn't bloomed yet. I hadn't caught a bloom on them, but they got buds on them. They getting there. I mean, look at that. And hopefully this tropical storm barrel, whatever the hell they calling it, shit, will go and throw some nice slow rain for a couple of days on it. And I'll be having me some peas shortly. My pole beans, they're doing what pole beans do best, climbing. I mean, they've already climbed up the top of my fence. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do now. I gotta stick this little guy in there. Maybe he'll hold on this time. Put him right there. That way he'll grow up there and quit growing in my damn peas. Yeah, you got a little hook. I'll hook you right there too. All this is dog wire and cheap fence posts. I mean, these are really cheap fence posts. Yeah, we got some blooms now. Look at that. Got a nice bloom on the pole beans. So yeah, got some more up there. We got some more blooms coming in, buds, blooms. So we should be having some nice pole beans here shortly. Well, those might be little, no, those are blooms. And back to my corn again. I would show you the front garden, but it's not doing so hot. I've really let that go. I mean, I've taken care of this pretty well for the most part. My front garden, I hadn't had the time. I come in tired. But that's the way life is, you know. But yeah, there she is. Get the run on it, get the roost on it, put the nesting boxes in. I saw a video on YouTube, and I cannot remember the video name for crap, but it was a farm, and they were doing a video about nesting boxes, and they were using 12-quart Sterilite tubs that you get from Walmart with the tops in the plastic tubs. They were using those for nesting boxes. They're real easy to clean. They're real detachable. I will put a description in the description. I will list the video and where it can be found on YouTube, so y'all can look at that. So credit goes to that guy for the nesting boxes. That's why I didn't even put them up there and show you, because you know, if you want to see it, you can look at that. But there she is. Any questions, comments, you know where to leave them. And as always, see you on the next one.